What's going on, my Dragon Legion? It's Christian Dragoon here, and today we are going to be doing a CardFight Vanguard deck profile of my current Kagero DOTE deck profile. Now, if you Dragoons have been watching my CardFight Vanguard videos ever since I got into Vanguard, now, you Dragoons might already expect to know by now that this is my favorite Kagero deck build, and this is my favorite build and deck in general when it comes to Kagero in general, or CardFight Vanguard in general as well. Now, a lot of people may say that DOTE may not really stand a chance really that well due to what's going on in today's format, but honestly, in my opinion, I don't think that's actually really necessarily true. While I partially understand why they could say that, again, I kind of have to disagree right there and such. Now, DOTE without the break right or not, DOTE by himself, it can still be an aggressive and very powerful card, and in the hands of the right player, it can really do some serious massive damage, and it can still be able to hold its own against decks that not too many people will expect DOTE to be able to hold its own against these days and such. And with a break ride mechanic helping DOTE out a little bit here and there, I think Draconic Overlord at the end could still be able to hold its own, and it can still help itself against certain decks that may give this deck a hard time every now and then. So, still a great deck, still a fun deck, and I think most of you die-hard Kagero players will agree with me when I say that DOTE is still a great, fantastic deck all in general. And with that being said, let's get right straight to the deck profile right now. Shall we, Dragoons? Alright, start off with your starting Vanguard, one Red Pulse Drip Kid. Probably the only ideal good starting Vanguard right now for Kagero in general, except for certain decks in particular. But even in those kind of decks, I think Red Pulse Drake Kid is still a great, reliable card for those kind of decks. Counterblast one card, pull Soul your Vanguard, guard, search the top 5 cards deck, and potentially get a grade 3. And with the great combos that you do with this deck right, you could potentially use that ability very well to actually get the grade 3 you really need to protect your hand very, very fast. So Red Pulse Drake Kid, still a great, reliable card, and help you get around what you need to get around and such, and help you get into what you need to get into. So yeah. Next up, for the trigger lineup, of course, we have your 4 heals. Don't think I really need to explain why this is so important. And I think you Dragoons saw this one coming. The rest of the trigger lineup is, of course, my usual 6 critical and 6 draw lineup. Now, this allows me to be equally balanced as aggressive and still be able to inflict as much damage as my opponent as possible, while still be on defensive and be able to draw stuff that I need to draw into the most. Now, what I like about playing these draw trigger cards in particular, that's very important with this deck right here, now and then I do play card effects that do allow me to soul blast stuff in order to be allowed to do certain things in particular. So with the abilities of these guys right here, I can potentially use their abilities to do whatevers, and I'll have more cards in my soul, so I can do more soul blasts and do some serious stuff right here. Seal Dragon Equest, he's not the best card for abilities like that, but he's free to do so. He doesn't require counterblasting in order to be put in your soul, and he gives a unit, one of your units, 3,000 power. So that can be pretty handy with things every now and then. And Galactic Claw Dragon, he's definitely an out to certain annoying decks, like those annoying grade 0 forerunners that you don't want to deal with. So when something like that comes out, you always have your Galactic Claw Dragon to do your stuff with and such. I'm not really 100% sure, but I may take out one of the Seal Dragon guys to put in a 3rd Galactic Claw Dragon. I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But for right now, 6/6 seems to be my magic number when it comes to Vanguard right now at the moment. And that's what I'm doing for the grade 1 lineup. Trigger lineup. Now for the grade 1 lineup. For the grade 1 lineup, we have 4 perfect guards. Now I know Quentin Wall is now a thing now, but honestly, I'm not really a big fan of Quentin Wall. Why waste a counterblast and 6+ cards just to potentially, not guarantee, but potentially block attack? Whereas a perfect guard, you can just pitch this and a card from your hand, boom, you're guaranteed to block all the attack right there. Now, I'm not saying Quentin Wall is bad. I'm not saying Quentin Wall is obsolete and all that such. I have seen people pull out Quentin Wall pretty well and all that such, especially in Legion-based decks. However, in my opinion, I just think regular Perfect Guard is just the best way for me to go right now at the moment. So, yeah, 4 Perfect Guards is just the best way for me to do some stuff right now. And, yeah. So, 4 Perfect Guards. That's always good. And then 4 Eternal Bringer Griffins. For those who do not know what he does, what his ability is, when you call him the rear guard circle, pitch any grade 3 Kagero from your deck to your hand to add any Draconic Overlord from your deck to your hand. Now, to be specifically clear, it specifically says add Draconic Overlord. Not Draconic Overlord the end, not Draconic Overlord the rebirth, just specifically Dragonic Overlord. So this card right here, or the original Dragonic Overlord, or before the Break Ride mechanic and all that such, whatever. One of those two cards, not the end, not Rebirth, not the Great, just specifically Dragonic Overlord at the end. And it's not really a bad thing to pitch Dragonic Overlord at the end to get Dragonic Overlord and all that such. Keep in mind, it does allow you to build plays when you do some stuff. And you do have Dragonic Burnout, get your DOTEs back in your deck when you do things like that. And by playing 4 of these guys, you increase your odds of being able to do so, get what you need. And you have that extra Dragonic Overlord that you won't want to have in your hand. You can just pitch that Dragonic Overlord to draw into the Dragonic Overlord, just so you don't end up drawing 2 extra grade 3s that you do not need. So 4 Griffin's definitely pretty good, and he's a pretty good ideal 7k booster and all that such. And another reason why I played 4 of him instead of 3 is because every now and then, in case someone comes up where I don't have a green one to write into, except for him, by playing 4 of these instead of 3, I'll still have the other 3 when I end up writing to one of them, so that way I can still have the potential possibility of getting into what I need to get into the most. Next up, 2 Dragon Monk Gojos, ability to rest a card, pitch a card, draw a card, nothing really too special, just there to help you draw into what you need to draw into the most. And he has the ability, and you can also have option choice of either use his ability to do so, or choose not to if you're comfortable with hand, and use him as a decent 7k booster and such. Next up, we play 2 copies of Steel Dragon Kagero. Now, I chose to play him over Volcanic Horn Dragon because, don't get me wrong, Volcanic Horn Dragon has a really nice ability where he becomes a 10k grade 1, which is actually a pretty useful ability. However, keep in mind many things. First of all, he doesn't get that, unlike subclan decks that happen to have that guy that do that, whatever such. He's only good when your Vanguard specifically has the word Overlord in his name, and keep in mind, you don't always get. It does actually take a while for most decks to get to the grade 3s. So the extra 3,000 ability doesn't really come in handy that often as I need to. And plus, why have a unit that only does something more to give you 3,000 power when you have a unit that can help you draw into what you need to draw into, so you'll make even more impact on what you're trying to do. So, Kagero is still a pretty good card. When I call him while my opponent has a grade 2 unit, pitch a card, draw a card, and unlike Monk, I don't have to rest him and such, so he still becomes a 7k booster even after the ability. However, unlike Monk, you can only use the ability only once, etc. such when you first call him. So you gotta be a little bit cautious when you play him out every now and then. So 2 Kageros, and then last but not least, 2 copies of Climber Tower Wyvern, just a typical Soul Blast 2, draw 1 card, pretty much a Rising Phoenix for Kagero. So a great interesting card right here and such. And that's what I'm doing for the grade 1s. For the grade 2s, we play max copies of Burning Horn Dragon. Just your typical 12-gate attacker when your Vanguard is Overlord. Now, since we're no longer playing Dauntless DOTE no more, I mean, Dauntless DOTE is still a thing in my opinion. I think Dauntless DOTE can still probably work, but why play Dauntless DOTE when you're able to get your hands on 4 copies of Dragonic Overlord, the Break Right guy, whatever such. And by playing 4 Overlords, Break Rights, and 4 Dragonic Overlord, the ends, and unlike Dauntless DOTE, you are pretty much guaranteed that he will get the 3k boost or 3k power as long as your Vanguard is a grade 3, pretty much short and sweet. So Burning Horn Dragon can definitely become a great reliable ally, and yeah, he's just a great typical 12k attacker for decks like this. Next up, we have 4 copies of Dragonic Burnout. His ability is when you call him in the rearguard circle, when his unit is placed in rearguard circle, you may Soul Blast a card and take any card that has word Overlord from Dropstone and put it on the bottom of your deck. When you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. Now, this is definitely a very great step up compared to Berserk Dragon and any of the cards related. Such, first of all, there's no counter blasting needed. So you have all your counter blasting reserves for your Red Pulse Ringo kit and for all the abilities of your Dragonic Overlords and Dragonic Overlord the ends. So this saves you a lot of counter blasting. Second, there's no hand cost. Third, the only cost you get is Soul Blasting only 1 card, and that's it. And fourth, you get one of your Overlords back for potential more plays and such. And fifth, Unlike Berserk Dragon or anything related to him, where you can only kill grade 2s or whatever such rear guards and such, Dragonic Burnout can kill any rear guard and anywhere of the columns. So regardless of front row, regardless of back row, regardless of that unit is grade 0 through all the way grade 3, etc. such, Dragonic Burnout can kill any rear guard of your choice. So yeah, a very great reliable guy. Not only helps you get rid of that one rear guard you don't want to deal with, but potentially allow you to get one of your overlords back so you can do some more overlord plays. If that does not sound pretty good for a Kagero DOTE player or any Dragon Overlord player related to such, then I don't know what sounds good to you if you don't like that. And then next up, we have just 3 copies of your 10k grade 2 vanillas, 3 sealed dragon. Sorry, 3 Sealed Dragon Hunger Hell Dragons, just your basic 10k grade 2 vanillas. Nothing really too special right here. And that's it for the grade 2s. For the grade 3s. For the grade 3s, we have 4 Dragonic Overlords, the Break Right guy to be more specific. His ability is Summer Break 4. For when a Kagero rides to the top of this unit, choose your Vanguard, and that unit gets plus 10 power, which is short, sweet break ride. And he gets the ability of Counterblast 1 and choose a Kagero from your hand, discard it. At the end of the battle, this unit attack their rear guard. You may pay the cost. If you do, stand as unit. This ability cannot be used for the rest of the turn. So what this is a great build. Now, if you don't perform a cross break ride off, it's not the end of the world. Your Dragon Overlord at the end can still do pretty well on its own right here. But what this does is this allows your Dragon Overlord at the end to potentially have the ability to attack 3 times. Like, first you get your regular attack for your usual attack, 1 attack per turn with your Vanguard and such. Then you get this guy's ability. Then if your Dragon Overlord at the end attack is a hit, after he stands up after the Dragon Overlord's break right ability, he stands right back up and attack 1 more time after you use the Persona Blast, of course. So right off the back, if you play your strategies right, you'll get 3 twin drive checks out of your Dragon Overlord at the end, while also still having 2 other additional attacks from your rear guards, depending on what else you have on the board. So with these guys wrecking around with what you're doing and such, you can just open up yourself with some huge beatdown power, give your rear guards the option and power to just wreck everything that's going on and such, and give your Vanguard grab your Dragon Overlord at the end and give him the power to just beat down and wreck down whatever is right in front of him, almost. And even if your opponent does not be able to block him, even if your opponent blocks all the attack, most likely they will have to use up some some really good cards to block that off. And speaking of your Dragon Overlord at the end, your ideal key card of the entire deck, and that is 4 copies of Dragonic Overlord at the end. Now his ability is if you have Dragon Overlord in your soul, this unit gets plus 2,000 power. And when his unit attack is a hit, you may counterblast 2 cards, pitch another copy of him from your hand drop zone, short and sweet, Persona Blast. When you do, stand his unit right back up. Now, what your ideal goal of this deck right here is obviously use this guy's ability the best you possibly can. Now he combos off with Dragon. Ruby, stop. What he does is he combos off your Dragon Overlord very well. You attack twice with both your regular attack and your break right ability, and if his attack is a hit after the break right ability, you get a second additional hit. So right after all that, you get 3 twin drives all total. Get some huge huge potential possibilities. Also get some good important triggers, and just proceed to do what Dragon Overlord does the best. And if you don't win during a turn that you do your cross break ride, it's not the end of the world. As long as you have a Dragon Overlord and the soul of your Vanguard, he is still a 13k boost, a 13k Vanguard that you can still have to like defend yourself, all that such. Like that extra 2,000 power could actually help you out when you're trying to defend yourself, when you come to situations where you're forced to defend yourself in certain situations as well. So yeah, stuff like that can definitely help you out and big huge battles in situations as such. And alright there, Dragoons. That right there was my DOTE Kagero deck profile deck update. Things have been changed a little bit here and there. As I said in the beginning of the video, it's my favorite deck. I've always loved Dragon Overlord at the end. and I'm very glad Dragon Overlord at the end has been getting a lot of support over the years. And another project I'm going to be planning on doing is something that's a little bit odd, a little bit miffy that not too many people will ultimately see in a DOTE deck. And one idea I've been thinking, I don't know if you Dragoons will agree with me when I say this. I've been thinking about mixing the two decks together. What if I made a Break Ride DOTE deck that involved working with the End and Rebirth both in one deck together? Now it's a really odd thought. Not too many people might not be on board of this idea, but it does seem like a very interesting idea that I think it's worth a go and worth a try out. So maybe something I'll have to ponder on, and I want to hear Dragoon's opinions about that. Do you Dragoons think I should try that out, or do you think that seems like a terrible bad idea? Let me know what you Dragoons think about this idea and deck profile in the comment section down below. And I'll see you Dragoons around. Hope you Dragoons enjoy this video. Please leave a like and a favorite if you did. It really helps me out a lot. And subscribe today to become part of the Dragon Legion Alliance. And I'll see you Dragoons another day. Christian Dragoon signing out. Peace.